What seems like a cult but isn't a cult? Hey guys, it's Jen. If you are new to my YouTube channel, I do a lot of videos talking about beauty, fashion, and occasionally also my hair. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about why I quit the curly girl method. This video is going to be in a few parts. Part one, we're going to talk a little bit about my childhood traumas and history regarding acceptance of my own hair. We're gonna talk a little bit about my sponsor for this video, which is Function of Beauty, which I love their products. I'm actually super excited to tell you about them. And third, sort of where I'm at currently. If you want to check out the different parts, I will try to leave timestamps in the info box down below, so make sure you go down there and check it out if you're wanting to watch a specific portion. Let's hop right into it. I grew up in the Midwest. I grew up in a predominantly white community where I really didn't have other people who looked like me, who had hair color like me or hair texture like me. I would go to school and be the only Asian kid year after year after year. A lot of my experiences that I had of feedback from other kids at school about my hair really made a big impression in how I thought of my own hair. Growing up, I actually had extremely healthy hair. It was super long, very shiny, very straight. I actually really liked my own hair. I was really proud of it. I loved it when it was like down to my butt. I have this picture where I just have pigtails and it just has two long waterfalls going straight down on either side while I'm wearing this hanbok. And for some reason, I just look back with such nostalgia at that photo. But there came times where I would be at school and there would be other girls who would reach out and touch my hair. And they would make comments to me. I got a comment from these two girls once that were talking about my hair texture, which to describe my own hair, I would say it's not super coarse, but it's definitely not fine. It's like medium to a little bit like on the thicker side, like each strand is a little bit thicker. And then in terms of like curliness, it's not like curly, but it's definitely not stick straight. When I was younger, it was stick straight, but because it does have a little bit of like thickness to it, it doesn't necessarily feel the same as that like super soft, super fine hair that a lot of like the white girls around me had. And one day, this girl came up and she was talking to me and they were all talking about their hair and they touched my hair. And she looked at me and she was like, "Why does your hair feel like a horse's hair?" And I didn't even know what to say. I think that, you know, when you're like 8 or 9 or 10 and you hear something like that, like you don't have a good background to know, like to call out something that's like kind of racist or like a little bit inappropriate or makes you feel uncomfortable for more reasons than just somebody talking about this hair texture versus that hair texture. She was literally comparing my hair to that of an animal that is known for having very coarse hair. It made me feel like she was kind of calling me an animal, which I wasn't really able to put into words when I was like 10. So this wasn't the only time that happened. I actually had another really vivid memory of a girl pretty much in the same situation. She felt my hair and she said, "Why does your hair feel like that? It feels like a Barbie's hair. It's not soft like my hair. My hair is really soft. Your hair is not soft." I feel like these instances, instead of like being able to say like, "Oh, that is not making me feel good about my hair. You should be more educated about hair coming in a lot of different textures from a lot of different kinds of people." I think I probably went home and I don't even know if I told anyone. I think I just sort of internalized it like, yeah, this is just my experience. This is the things that people feel they're allowed to just say to me because I just look different than they do. When I became a teenager and my hair started to change textures from being really straight to becoming a little bit more coarse, a little bit more naturally wavy, it became really like thick and heavy, and it also became more greasy. I also started to have more issues with certain shampoos being kind of irritating on my scalp. I had like dandruff issues and oil issues, and every time somebody would make sort of those like negative comments about my hair, it would just make me feel so awful and insecure, and it really made me feel like I was the weirdo for not having like this perfectly fine, straight, soft, light colored hair like the other girls did. And at the same time, I feel like I appreciated certain aspects of my hair, like the fact that it wasn't stick straight meant that I could curl it really easily and it would just stay styled without me using a lot of products. I didn't have a lot of like breakage. I could be pretty low maintenance with my hair, but then it's like my other friends could just, in gym after swim class, they would just blow dry their hair and then it would just dry straight and beautiful. And if I would just blow dry my hair, it would like poof up and get really frizzy. So I think I was just kind of, not really understanding what to do with my hair other than like washing it at night and sleeping with it wet and then waking up. And then it's sort of like, I don't know if it's going to look nice or not the next day. That's sort of my background, right? Like, I feel like I want to say I have easy to care for hair, but I feel like I also have a lot of like deeply rooted traumas about my own identity in being able to sort of take ownership of my hair and pride in my hair in its natural state, because I have this history of like being treated really badly for it just like being what it is. So I guess like as an adult, one of my big goals is just to be able to embrace it for what it is and really recognize exactly what it is. So I have to say I'm really thankful for the curly girl method for introducing me to so much from like an educational and research standpoint of what was going on with my hair and how I could make it really like its peak of natural waviness. So I started Curly Girl about 2 years ago. I actually have a video that I had put up previously about how to do the Curly Girl method, especially when it came to like Asian hair. So if you guys haven't seen that, I will link it up there for you guys. But basically, I realized as soon as I shared that video, I on one hand felt super embraced by this whole community of girls who had curly hair, especially Asian girls who have curly hair, which I think is not really spoken about enough, that I didn't even know kind of really existed. I thought I was kind of the anomaly for having kind of wavy hair naturally, whereas I feel like most Asian girls just had like beautiful stick straight hair their whole lives. I thought it was kind of cool to discover that it had this potential. What I also discovered is that there were a lot of aspects about Curly Girl that I felt like it was fun at the beginning of the panini to try something new with my hair, even though I was stuck at home, to be able to like dedicate a lot of time to squishing in the conditioner for a long time in the shower and then like plopping the hair in a t-shirt and doing this whole routine to it, and then seeing these incredible results after you put in the gel. And so I definitely kept up with that for several months, and I thought it was amazing. But what I did start to find is that when I would feel really like I didn't have as much free time that I wanted to, because I am a mother of two. Right now they're 3 and 5 years old. Honestly, y'all mothers out there, you probably feel me. We don't always have an extra hour at the end of the day to dedicate just to like preparing our hair. At least I feel like I don't. I'm definitely not the person who is like perfectly made up, perfectly curled hair every single day. Like I drop off my kids at school totally with like no makeup in my sweatpants. So I sometimes want to have the hour at the end of the day to be able to spend like outside of my shower, I guess. I want to be empathetic for those who are trying out the curly girl method because they're coming from a place where this is their ideal option, where their hair really is kinky or coily or very curly or even wavy, and they have a lot of negative other side effects in their hair if they don't stick to the curly girl method, where maybe their hair doesn't grow as much or it doesn't feel as full or it gets super, super frizzy. For someone like me, instead of feeling like this was the holy grail of my hair, I kind of felt like I was a bit locked in with fewer choices. I felt like it was a difficult process of being able to say, but what if I want to blow dry my hair today? I didn't want to feel like I was like a bad person for using heat products on my hair. You know, I like how my hair looks when I curl it. I also like how it looks when I do the curly girl method. But to me, they both take a lot of time. You know, it is equally time consuming. I just wanted to be able to land myself somewhere in the middle. A few things that I was also surprised about is when I did curly girl method, after I stopped talking about it for a few months, I kept getting messages from people asking me like, "Oh, are you still doing curly girl?" Like if they noticed I had my hair curled for a video, I would get comments. I wouldn't say they were exactly judgmental, but it definitely felt like people intentionally nudging, like, hey, I'm noticing you're not like a curly girl diehard right now. Like, I can see that you're diverting away from the other curly girls. And I think it made me feel a little bit self-conscious, like, oh, maybe people think I'm making like the wrong decisions for my hair. And I also saw this in other girls' videos. If I would watch other girls talking about their journey with curly girl, I would see comments of people saying, oh, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. You're actually wavy haired and you're trying to make it straight and that's why it's frizzy. And I know that a lot of times people try to give advice from a place of being helpful, but I think that when it comes from people you don't know, sometimes advice comes across as being judgmental. And it's kind of difficult to like be the one to receive a mass amount of those comments, because I've been in that position before. You know, I've done YouTube for over 10 years now, and so like I've definitely experienced waves of people trying to generously give their advice, but sometimes it is a little bit difficult to hear because like you don't actually know the people who are leaving all of those comments, and truthfully sometimes people leave comments and they're not very nice, so it can definitely go both ways. I think the thing that for me broke the camel's proverbial back in terms of deciding to step away from the curly girl method is that I am a very naturally acne prone person. My skin is just very sensitive to ingredients that makes it break out frequently, and I just have to be really careful about what I use. And I found that after using curly girl for several months, no matter how much I tried to like condition by bending to the side or whatever, I started developing like neck acne and back acne and shoulder acne, just like pretty much anywhere that the conditioner was touching my body, it would give me acne. And that's something that I've had like deep struggles with as well. I realized I really had to modify my routine for my own long-term happiness and really sustaining a system that would work for my lifestyle. At least for now. I'm not saying like it's gonna be forever. I still like doing it once in a while, but I wanted to be able to give myself a little bit more grace and a little bit more room to find where I felt like was right for me with some flexibility. So that brings me to where I am today. I wanted to share the products that I have been using. It's called Function of Beauty, and it's actually this pretty cool customizable shampoo and conditioner system. You can literally customize exactly your particular hair type, texture. It literally says Function of Jen on these bottles, which I think are so cute. You can pick what color it is, you can pick what scent it is, how strong the scent is, but I think the most important part is the actual parts that go inside the formula. So for me, I specifically wanted something that will help soothe my scalp because I do have some dandruff and oil issues. I wanted oil control, I wanted to have moisture and hydration, but I also wanted it to not be weighing my hair down and causing more oiliness. Also, because of what I learned from the curly girl method, I picked this in particular, first of all, because I believe all of their shampoos and conditioners are sulfate free, but I can also choose if it is silicone free. Honestly, I've done a lot of looking into it, and I personally don't think it's bad for your hair, but if you do want a lot of like the most ideal curl definition, it is possible that the silicones, because they make a coating on the outside of your hair, making it feel really soft and smooth and feel really nice, it can also keep it from having the most curl definition, because I've already been not using silicone products and not using sulfate products in my hair. It took to the Function of Beauty products really, really well. I was super, super happy to use these. I chose the peach scent and it just fills my whole shower, and I just love anything really like bright and fruity. It just makes me feel like it's so yummy and delicious. It's totally my from head to toe aesthetic, being this like kind of like a peachy colorway. And I also really liked this colorway because the shampoo and conditioner have a significant color difference. So if I'm just trying to reach for something really quickly, I know exactly which one is the shampoo and conditioner without even having to read on the bottle. Although if you look at the bottle here, it does say in a pretty large font, shampoo and conditioner. They are also vegan and cruelty free, and I have just been so happy with the results of my hair. My hair is super shiny, really soft without feeling heavy. It felt really, really clean. A couple of things that I would recommend is with these and with pretty much every sulfate-free shampoo, one really good tip is to do a double cleanse with your shampoo. And that's something that I've already been doing no matter what shampoos I was using beforehand, but it definitely works really, really well, especially the dirtier your hair is. So if you've gone more than a couple days, I just feel like if I only do a single shampoo, my hair doesn't feel as like clean and fluffy as it does if I do the first shampoo to get sort of like the surface dirt off of my hair. And then I actually go in for a second shampoo. And the second shampoo, I don't even need as much shampoo, but I feel like that's what really cleans my scalp and everything really, really, really well. And then I use my fingertips and like really massage it in, and I make sure it has like really good scalp coverage. With my hair being super extra thick, a lot of times I get a lot of heaviness around the back of my hair, and it's probably because all of my hair is like hanging down and having the most thickness in the back. But the second time I shampoo, I feel like that is what really gets all of my hair super clean. And then make sure you do like a really, really, really good rinse out of the shampoo before you do the conditioner. For my conditioning step, what I do is I will actually only do my conditioner from my ears down, which is not really exactly the curly girl method. It's just what works for me and my hair the best. Because I know people who have more curly or coily hair, their hair is so seeking that hydration that you really want to hydrate the entire hair shaft. But for my medium hair, it really just has the oils from my scalp. It'll just travel down my hair so quickly that if I condition everything, I get greasy hair in like a day. And it doesn't matter if I really, really rinse out the conditioner very well. I just notice the difference no matter what. But I've just been so happy with the results. I love that I customized it exactly for my particular hair needs. And I've just felt like my hair has been so happy and so healthy. It feels physically soft, even though I didn't put any extra products in it. I did obviously blow dry my hair and curl it today, and I feel like it looks really pretty fabulous. So basically, to recap, I have my Function of Beauty products customized so that it'll still work with the curly girl method when I want to do the curly girl method, but I'm not holding myself up to the you must do curly girl, otherwise you're a disappointment or a failure, or you should feel really bad about your choices, because I think that everybody is really individual and we all have different needs with our hair, and it's okay to experiment if you want to. It's okay if you want to chemically treat your hair. It's okay if you want to color your hair or use heat on it. I would say there are definitely some things that you can do to protect your hair while you're doing those different steps, but I feel like that's a whole other video to talk about. For myself, I think I'm pretty happy going with a sulfate-free shampoo and conditioner, a silicone-free formula that is still has curl enhancing properties that I can customize like this. Plus, not to mention, this formula I can also use on my daughter's hair, she's 5 years old, and she has the most beautiful, fine, soft, naturally curly hair, and it was like such an amazing gift seeing this beautiful head of hair on her. But of course, I really want to embrace her natural curls, so I absolutely don't use like heat on her hair, but I can still share my shampoo and conditioner with her. If you guys want to check out Function of Beauty, I will have my custom link in the info box down below, and you can use code JENFUNCTION to get a special intro offer on your first month of the shampoo and conditioner set. I believe it's the 16-ounce bottles. In terms of my own decisions in keeping my hair healthy and happy for my lifestyle, I try to not use heat on it as much as possible, but I do let myself blow dry my hair if I'm like feeling under the weather, because I don't like going to bed with wet hair in those situations, and I like to shower at night. I also don't necessarily like how my hair feels when I put a lot of products in it. When I do use heat, I make sure to look up what the level of heat is that would be ideal for my hair texture. So I can handle some pretty higher heat because I do have very healthy, thicker hair. However, even with my hair, I don't usually make it to the max heat, because a lot of today's heat products can get up to crazy hot temperatures, and it's not necessarily that hotter is better. So even my blow dryer, I don't necessarily put it all the way up to the hottest heat setting, and the same goes with my curling iron. I haven't been using bleach products in my hair, and I cut it really short. It's been super healthy. I'm in the process of growing it out again, because that's what I do. I get it super long and then I cut it all off, and then I grow it super long again. So it's just a constant cycle for me, but I've been really happy with the state of my hair right now. I have to not be the only person who like broke up kind of with the curly girl method. I feel like curly girl and we can still like go on some dates together, but I don't want to be like 100% committed for life, because there are things about the process of taking care of myself outside of curly girl that I actually really enjoy, and it makes me feel more myself. I hope if you're in the same situation like me, maybe this video gave you some things to think about, or at least made you feel a little comfortable with the decisions that you're making. And just know that wherever you are in your own personal hair journey, that's okay. Like, it's okay to experiment with your hair. It's okay to like make mistakes. It's okay to just do whatever you want and not be beholden to what somebody else thinks is right for you just because they say so, and just because they want to live within a certain box. That doesn't mean you have to. So if you needed to hear it, this is me giving you permission to love your hair however you want to. This is also me giving you permission that if you've ever been through an experience like I have, where you came under attack because of the way your hair naturally is, just know that you're not alone, and there's nothing wrong with your hair. Your hair is awesome and amazing and beautiful. It is unique to you, and it already is everything it ever needs to be. Or if you want to change it, that's okay too. Just know that it's okay to embrace yourself however you choose to on your own terms. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want to see more of my videos, it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my content, hit thumbs up on this video if you liked it so it helps it out in the algorithm, and I will see you guys in my next video. I love you guys. Bye.